Hello and welcome back to the channel. And today you find me out on another walk, starting this walk off at the Coach and Horses, just located north of Worthing, West Sussex. What we're going to do is we're going to start our walk by heading down by the A27 towards Goring Castle, and then we're going to cross the road and head up Holt Lane, and this will take us up onto the downs. We're going to take in some of the views, and we're going to find the place where another World War II aircraft met its fate. So the first part of our walk takes us north along Holt Lane. I've done some previous videos upon Holt Lane, and Holt Lane is an old droveway. Gets you up onto the downs and eventually would take you to Storrington, and would be used for moving cattle or animals over the downs. It's a sunken pathway, so the animals are going to be sort of penned in. It's a lovely walk on a spring day. Not so attractive today. Very muddy underfoot, and don't tend to come up these ways in the winter because it can be a little bit unattractive. Also, we're flanked by the infamous Clapham Woods, and funny actually today, it's a totally different experience to normal. We've got this beautiful bird song. I don't know whether the mic will pick it up because I've got wind socks all over it, hiding it from the winds. Really big oak trees in the distance. This area is infamous for its occult goings on. Put a link in the description to my previous videos on this area. They're quite old now actually, and I'm hoping you'll see some development in my video style. Certainly the last time I came, this fallen tree was there. Hasn't been moved on, but it's important sometimes to do that because it gives animals the opportunity to live in the root ball, and funguses to break down the tree, and the funguses will be preyed on by insects, so it's part of the whole circle of life. This is new to me though. Look, this fence. Wow. We saw this earlier on in the trip up to Holt Lane. That seems to be a whole sectioning off of parts of the land. Got some great views over Sussex from up here. Not sure if you're going to be able to hear me okay, because I have noticed in my previous videos that wind noise has been a bit of a problem, and I've been trying to reduce that where I can. Over in that distance there, we've got Harrow Hill, site of a Roman fort, and Black Patch Hill. This was featured on Time Team, a Neolithic settlement there, and a place of worship. There was some kind of worship structure they found there, and if we carry on in that distance there, eventually it will take us over the downs to Storrington. Looking westward from here, over roughly where that ball of trees are, was the site of one of the grandest houses in West Sussex, or in England actually, Mitchell Grove House. And I've done a video where we try and find the ruins of Mitchell Grove House back on the channel. Again, I'll put it down in the description below. And these are Patching Woods, also associated with Clapham Woods. These are lovely places if you have got pets to take them for a walk, but they can seem quite uninviting, just like this whole fence. I think the people that manage the land try to deter people from going into all of this woodland, and They do this, I think, partly with stories of the paranormal. Some people won't come to these woods because they think it's haunted. And in this section over here, I mean, I've had some experiences which I've spoke about in other videos, but definitely not a place I'd want to come at night. That's to say. But on a morning in January, it's a lovely experience. So this is one of my favourite driving roads in Sussex, Long Furlong. Not because of all the traffic that we get on there these days, and it can become a big car park, but just because of the stunning views. Yeah, amazing views. My kids love this road as well. No internet signal as well down there as well, so always know the kids always pipe up when we drive down roughly past the toll house, because yeah, they lose their phone signal and their videos stop playing. But yeah, lovely scenic drive, especially on a summer's day, and yeah, iconic views of Sussex, this open farmland, patchwork quilts. Yeah, lovely views. So it's right here that we'll turn right and southbound and head back towards the Worthing and High Salvington area. So it's lovely being out in the countryside today. Got some glorious views of Cissbury Ring from right up here. So, pro tip, if you're out walking on the downs, just pick up a discarded hazel stick and use it, because look at that, there's an absolute swamp there, and without that stick I surely would have gone over. In this week's video we're going to be talking about another crashed aeroplane. This one is a Heinkel HE11111P, and our story starts in Brighton, West Sussex. The aircraft was flying back from a sortie on the 10th of August 1940, so height of the Battle of Britain, and it had bombed the aerodrome, or Western Aerodrome of London, now known as Heathrow Airport. So probably on its home run, where it got intercepted by 3 Mark III Spitfires, the blue section of 602 Squadron. It's hard to know why the pilot made this decision, but he turned in a westerly direction along the south coast. The south coast here is only 20 miles from France, where he would have been safer with his own fighter squadrons to protect him and the flak guns of northern France. But I've been recently watching Masters of the Air, 2 episodes in now on Apple, and you can see probably why he made that decision by watching that TV series, in that if he'd been shot down over the channel, more than likely to have perished. It's very hard to make a uncontrolled landing on water. More than likely the plane would have flipped, disintegrated and sunk very quickly, taking down himself and his crew. So the pilot did actually make the right decision, because by turning and going along the coast where he did get shot down, only 2 of the crew members died in this incident. So it's a 10-mile run along the coast, and at that point he headed north into the Findon Valley area. I would imagine he's done that to use the terrain to his best advantage, been able to box the Spitfires in where they wouldn't be able to come in with strafing attacks, because he would have been flying within a valley. So the planes made their way up to the oval at Findon, and here we get some eyewitness accounts of what happened. One of the Spitfires made a climbing turn and beam attacked the Heinkel. The second Spitfire managed to do damage and knock out one of the engines. They continued to attack the aircraft until it had to make a crash landing in a section of the Downs now known as the Sanctuary. Right now we're on Honeysuckle Lane. This road or footpath runs all the way down to the A27 just north of Worthing and cuts through the hillside hamlet of High Salvington. Over in these woods here, it's very popular with dog walkers and families. Very thick woodland, it's maze-like, so it's very charming to wander through, especially in spring when we've got some flowers coming up, but we have got some great colours today. Wonderful greens on the trees as we make our way along to the sanctuary. So the plane would have come over here and through and landed in the southwest corner of this field. It made a wheels up landing, and we can see pictures of this online. It was quite a successful landing. 2 of the crew died, 2 were badly injured, and 1 got away with cuts and bruises. I'll put the names of the crew up on the screen right now because they're all German names, so I surely would butcher them in having a go at repeating their names. If you just did want to take this circular walk, there is a car park right there, so if you just wanted to come to this area you can park there, and I'll put a pin to that in the description down below. So it said the plane landed pointing towards High Down Hill, and that is High Down Hill just over there. And we take it for granted these days about aeroplanes flying above us, but back in the days 1940 aeroplanes weren't a common thing to see or hear, so this would have created quite a commotion to the locals. And upon landing, the Home Guard came and captured the air crew and took them to Worthing Hospital to be interrogated. It said a local man called Derek Round was also taken and arrested and taken to Worthing Hospital, but he was later released. Not sure why they thought he was a German. Maybe they thought he was some kind of spy, but you just thought the Home Guard would have known the air crew, or how many air crew there would have been on a Heinkel. There can only be so many seats on a plane like that. A local doctor did attend the scene, and the intelligence officers also attended as well. So it is important for them to take away the weapons, ammunition, and also the fuel as well. So if you didn't know, Germany had some problems with their fuel. They didn't have any oil reserves, so a lot of their fuel was methanol based, and they were constantly trying to refine their fuel. And it was one advantage that the British planes had over the Germans was the fuel that they used. It allowed them to produce more power and climb at higher rates. The Germans had to use technology to make this equal. Right here, got a big hole in the ground. Don't think that's from the crash landing, but yeah, don't know what made it. Maybe a bomb. Certainly, again, watching Masters of the Air, we saw the fact that when the bombers were making their run home, they often had to drop their bombs. You wouldn't want to be landing with a full bomb load in case something went wrong and blew the plane to pieces, so they would be dropping them, but possibly that's from a separate incident being dropped on its way back to the coast just over there. So 3 of the crew members survived and were taken to Canada, where they became prisoners of wars. and survived the war. The 2 died, can now be found in Durrington Cemetery. So it was this section of the field that the bomber landed. No evidence of this today. The bomber was completely stripped by local relic hunters, and we do see some of the parts of this plane come up in local auctions. It's also a local man that found part of the plane left in this field. We're going to be heading down through the corner of this field and making our way back down to the A27. So sad to see there's no sign there as a memorial to the lost airmen. There would be some kind of little memorial to the people who gave their lives. Doesn't matter which side of the war. War was between 2 ideologies, not a war of men. So sad to see they've been lost. And soon as making our way back to the car along the edge of this very steep drop here. This will bring us onto another lane that will eventually take us back to the start of the video. If you do come to this area, me and my children have made videos. There are some rope swings in this area which are great fun. It's a great place to come with the family. And here are the rope swings I talked about. One there, one there, and one over there in the distance. Looks like this one's still active, but we're just coming up to spring now, so I'm sure somebody will come out and repair these, ready for another season's worth of fun. So this brings us out on another muddy track, which basically, if you follow this track all the way down, will take us down to the A27 at Worthing. And then when you get to the A27, just need to head right along the footpath, and that will take us to where we started the walk. Really sad to see this, but it is popular during the summer. I guess some people are coming up and parking here and then just littering when they leave. If you do come to the woods to enjoy it, please pick up your rubbish and leave no trace. So I'm going to finish the video up here at the Coach and Horses. This has been a circular walk. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you could hit the like and subscribe button, it will help me to share my channel